Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to yet another session of inspiring conversations. And today I have a guest from India, so this will be fun. And I think that we will have like I said, a good fun because she's the first one. No, she is. Well, I have spoken to an Indian who lived in U.S. But let's dive in. Why I am doing this? It's the all about creating conversations that really matter. We are diving into ways to connect deeply, break down barriers, and build moments that inspire trust and growth, whether it's with your team or at work or in your everyday chats. We'll bring more positivity, realness, and impact into every conversation. And usually, when I do these chats, sessions. I am in my beautiful hometown of Kópavogur, which is close to Reykjavik, but not today because I am in Berlin. So that is fun. Um, but now I have to introduce to you my guest today. My guest is from India, as mentioned, and she is Divya Ra. Okay, you have to cut me off the news, Divya. Divya, you are muted. So you have to tell me your last name.
It's Raviraj, but you can call me as Divya. It's fine.
Divya, yes, because
Yes.
as equally my name is difficult for you guys, then sometimes your names is difficult for us guys in Iceland. So why is it that I only see the half of you? I did something with my computer and I can't figure out what I did. So this is fun, but maybe I can do it. Oh, now we're talking. So welcome, Divya. The reason we met is that you are, and what I find intriguing, that you are from India. You are a woman. You are a young woman. You have a engineer degree, but you decided to take a twist and you started to look at the emotional intelligence. So, but all about that later. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about like where you are and why you like did you grow up in this conventional home where you had every opportunity? You could have been a doctor, you could have been a rocket scientist. Well, that is that what engineer does? So
Yes,
tell us
thank
a
you very
little bit
much for
about
this.
yourself.
Yes, thank you so much for this amazing introduction and thank you for spelling my name in the right way. Yes, it's Divya. So, how did it all happen? Because I also come from a conventional background only where, I thought, okay, after I'll get a good job and I'll settle down and I don't have to worry about anything in life. So the same story that has been sold to so many people that has been sold to me as well. And then what happened is when I was working in companies as an individual contributor, I didn't have much problem to interact with people. I do my job, I go home, and all this was all fine. But then when I had to transition myself to become a coach, in technical terms, we call it agile coaching. That's when I faced difficulty because I thought it is just a transition from waterfall methodology to agile. But I least realize that it is not just about transition from one framework to other framework, but it is also a transformation of mindset from the fall to agile. So that's when I understood transformation was not that easy as I thought. Like, okay, it can be taught in a classroom where you train the people, and then the next day, okay, it's all done, they will be transformed. So I faced a lot of resistance, and time I was ignoring working on myself. So I was avoiding emotions, especially the difficult ones, and all of that has showed up when I was trying to transform the team. So it showed up in many different ways. Like when someone is angry on me, I couldn't able to handle them. I'll break down in tears. And imagine you being a coach and you're crying in front of people, or you're crying in it was all very difficult for me at age when I was around 25 or 26. So that's when I realized that there is something more beyond what the textbooks are teaching. There is something more to beyond that, what is being given as a training and certification. That's when the journey of EQ started, and I really started liking it at some point because I got so curious about human minds. And it's been 8 years since I invested in this kind of learning, improving myself, and in this personal growth. How it all started.
So, because we are almost at the same age, like I'm 29 plus, so I can hear that we are like. So, is there a difference between like India when it comes to EQ, emotional intelligence, as to the rest of the world, or like is Asia, like you believe belong to another part, like are is it much more different than in Europe or in Middle East, or like how do you see it? Are Indians struggling with the term? Like, are you just supposed to wake up, go to work, and stop thinking about that nonsense?
Yeah, actually, for Indians, wisdom has been taught for many, many long years. Okay, so there are some philosophies that Indians are following. There is Bhagavad Gita to guide you when you are having, tough times in life and all this. So, India is a place of wisdom. So, it gives you a guideline of what you can do when you have tough situations. But there is a lot of scope to also understand how do you emotionally feel when tough situation happens. And not just in India, I have seen people in many different countries as well, where people are still not open to concepts like EQ. They are still catching up with this term. Like, what is EQ really? Why do I need to, feel my emotions? Why do I regulate my emotions? And people sometimes take pride that, oh, I'm not a person who is emotional at all. Look at, emotions are so weak. I don't have to cry because I'm not a weak person. So this is all a global conceptions, or about emotions, or talking about emotions. So I don't see it particularly in India, but I have seen it in general. The awareness for EQ should increase more.
Mm. So, as people know, then people can participate in our conversation, and of course, his name is Ra.
Radha Krishnan. Radha Krishnan.
Thank, thank you, Radha Krishnan. So, sorry, Radha Krishnan. It's unbelievable. He says why EQ is important more than ever now in the context of AI, capable of doing anything mundane. And that's correct. Like we have to, and I guess that you are like when you are studying to become an engineering, like you don't learn that you have feelings in that category. Like you are just making stuff, you are putting together stuff on rocket, and why should I think about some emotions or like whatever? Because if for example the project goes to like total disaster, are you just going to say, oh heck, next time, next it will go? Like you have to go through some phases of failure, sorrow. There are, so explain, like, when you were studying to become an engineer, and you had this, like, when you say 8 years ago, you were just like, yeah, we need to, there is something, like, this is so wrong. Why am I sitting here in the restroom crying? Like, so how, when you were studying, did you realize that there was something, or did you feel like there was something missing?
Yes. Actually, when I was studying, I didn't have an opinion of my own. I didn't have a clarity about what do I really want from my life. Only after the 25 plus age, that's when people start getting maturity. That's when
Yes.
I understood there is much more than, making money. And at some point, I felt like I am just a money making machine. I didn't have anything to in my life. I didn't even know myself deeper, not in the surface level, like, what are my likes or dislikes, or which ice cream I like, or which food I like, but something beyond that, like, what is my value system, and what are my triggers, what were my traumas, how do I connect with myself? Okay, if I see this person in the mirror, what do I feel about that girl? So all this started, it was a overwhelming question for me, and I felt like completely blank because I didn't have answer to any of that. So that's where it started.
Yeah, but is it like, because in my mind, you see India, and you have Gandhi, and how he could lead a, like, the things, and no bloodshed, and everything was just done by heart, and by love. But when you are, like, you are 1.5 billion people. Like, we in
Right.
Iceland, we are 400,000. So there is a lot between, like, it's almost like we know everybody in Iceland. But you
Yeah.
guys are 1.5 billion,
Right.
and there are competition from the get-go. And as you say, when you're 25, you realize, where am I going? What am I doing? What do I want to do with my life? Do I like vanilla ice cream because my father said it to me, or not? Like, you
Exactly.
are, I think I can sense that your parents were very supporting of you. So 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 how was it to realize, or is it in, because now in India, young people, this, like, in the, now you are going to, you have a party called the teenagers, or the youth, or the school, like, what was it, like, the people, young people are taking more responsibility. They are stepping up and saying, we want to have something to say about our future. Like, are we looking forward, or are we always going to go back? So there are a lot of things happening in India, and it must be like, you must be like, because here in Iceland it started in 1975, where the women, they just, yeah, we will quit at this hour, at this day, and they were, the whole square was filled with women who just said, no, you can do it yourself. So it is just the liberalization of what is expected of a man or a woman. So when you, was it very liberating for you to say, like, mm, I really like strawberry ice cream, not vanilla?
Yes. Actually, it was very
Simplified.
liberating for me. Yes,
Yeah.
it was very liberating. And at some point, I want to thank social media and technology as well. Because before social media, imagine the kind of access we had for people is very limited. Maybe the surroundings near you, maybe, the kind of people will be limited. But thanks to social media, that, people can access any mentor anywhere in the world, right? Right. Connected and we are having a conversation is because of technology and social media. So it has played a major role to educate us in some way. And I have been a biggest fan of this life coach called Jay Shetty. So I have read some of his books and I have been his videos. That's when I understood understanding, okay, we professional growth alone is important, but I also need personal growth in my life.
So when you started and you started to build up your followers, or like, how did you do? Because how is it when you are maybe you are told to follow this path, and then you wake up one day and say, maybe I want to try to go to the right now. So when you started offering people this EQ, you have lectures and you talk about it, and you are giving, like, you are selling on your website, which we will mention later, like cards and some stuff. So when you started, how were you perceived? Like, did people just look at you and say, no, 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 you are bling?
Exactly. I had lot of resistance at the beginning, Hedin, because when I started my LinkedIn journey some 5 to 6 years back, I was even humiliated by some people saying that, oh, someone has come to give, look at her, the motivational speaker, and all of that, without understanding how much intense this topic is. Because I always believe that EQ is not just one another skill; it is a basic life skill.
Yeah,
Imagine we as a human with many different emotions per day, and we fluctuate between emotions. And if we are fluctuating between emotions, if I don't even know my biology and how do I in situations, then there's a quote that says, like, 10% is what to us and how do we respond to it. So if we don't understand how our emotions play a major role, then our response will be mostly reactive, but it won't be responsive. So that's when I felt, even though the journey at the beginning was very alone, it was very alone, because I was feeling that, oh, nobody is understanding. But there was a drive within me, the strong why, the why factor I had, because I had a cause, like, okay, no matter whatever happens, I really enjoyed the moment. Like, I enjoyed writing in LinkedIn, I enjoyed sharing about my perspective, about EQ. So I was not more result driven or result oriented that time. It's just like a hobby. That's how it started. Like,
yeah,
when you
yeah,
do
yeah,
your hobby, you don't want to have a productivity or outcome. You just want to enjoy. If you enjoy an ice, you just enjoy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You don't look for an outcome from that. So for me, my perspective and talking in podcast and all of that was an enjoyment. I knew that there are comments and things that literally hurt me, but over the period you will get immune to it, right? Like, because every time when I get distracted from my path, when something is making me carried away, I just ask myself, okay, why did I start this in first place? Did I start it because I need some validation from the world, or did I start it because I thoroughly enjoy it? It gave me some sort of meaning and purpose to share about this to the people, and that's the only thing I care about. And that was the main reason that I could able to do it for years. Otherwise, I will be. I mean, I won't be able to continue it if I was so much result oriented person in this.
Yeah, of course. You have to start somewhere, and then you take like one step at a time, and then you just see how what happens, and you have a great followers on LinkedIn. And by the way, the man who introduced me to you, Sugant, he says EQ needs to be established as a basic necessity rather than a luxury reserved only for the privileged or those who can afford therapy. People keep running for survival to the next day with no time to think or feel their emotion. This must change. And here we have a young man whom he will be a guest on my podcast in December, I think. Like, there is only one Thursday per week, so like time flies when you're having fun. But and he has written a book, so I was just intrigued that like when you take your future, or you think, okay, what can I do to maybe be different than everybody else? Like, people have been engineers for centuries, or they have been professors or teachers or like, but then you do something. So it must have been uh, fun for you also to like challenge the establishment, because A, you are a woman, and B, like, okay, you are an engineer, but you are not taught, like, you are not going into the emotions when you're an engineer, because you are just
Right.
drawing and fixing and doing stuff. So it must have been fun, like a little bit. Like you are a young person, and I find it fascinating that you are not like you are a young person and you are doing stuff that you are like you see a problem and you want to do something about it. So did you like the challenge, and like did your parents ask you when you started this journey like,
I
okay,
definitely
Divya,
had questions.
yeah, so they were just like
My father was asking this question because people won't understand your journey, right? And it's sometimes
yeah,
now I am in my 30s. I came to an peace with the fact that not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. That's okay, and it's okay to be sometimes misunderstood as well. So at the beginning, my father has always been a person who was supportive. That he always wanted me to stand in my own leg, and he wants to be bold and courageous and all of that. But when it comes to me taking some alternative path apart from the conventional path, he was worried. He was not causing resistance because he didn't like it. He was worried that, oh, you are an engineer, as he said, I'm an engineer, and you are trying to become an EQ coach. And he didn't understand all of this, right? He didn't understand, and he was like, why do you want to do all of a sudden? You are already doing amazing in your job, you're making good money, you can enjoy life, you can get married and all this, right? So but then after a set certain point, you cannot keep arguing with your parents. You need to show them the results, and the results will convince them. So
yeah.
after I started doing the work, and when my father saw the comments like, You changed my life, Divyan," and I was even uh, how to say, like, I was even in the magazine cover page of a local magazine, and that was the magazine that my father was reading from the young age.
Uh-huh.
So he was convinced, like, oh my god, okay, my girl is coming in the magazine. And then the results convinced him more than my talks. So I was silent when I didn't have much results, or when I didn't have much to prove to him that I'm in the right path. So I was mum for some time. And then when the results started showing up, he was convinced.
But how was it when you, because when people realize, like we all have our different backgrounds. Like we here in Western Europe, my father was an alcoholic, and I had like struggled with that, and why do I react like I do? And then you, as you say, you get older and wiser, and then when you get kids yourself, then you have to like step up, because you don't maybe want, like, I had no desire to mirror my father into them. So I had to realize what I was doing, like how I wanted to be perceived. So because it is interesting for people to know, why am I so angry? Why am I reacting like this? Why am I doing like, and if somebody breaks something, and your first reaction is like, "Wah!" instead of, okay, what is that? Like, take a deep breath and then
Yeah.
go. So when people ask you in the beginning, when they asked you, like said, like, oh, this is just a soft skill. We are talking about a soft skill. Like, these are just emotions that maybe women have, derogatory, like putting you down, because like we boys, we are not meant to cry. So when they realized that they had something hidden, or stuff that they didn't realize was, directing them in a way that they were, well, let's say, miserable. That must have, like when they realized, and they came to you and said, Divya, I had a chandelier moment. So when you, after your first courses and you started talking about this, did anyone approach you and say, Divya, this EQ, this is fantastic?
Yes, exactly. Actually, when I started becoming a EQ coach, I understood and I was fully aware that my job is not to just coach people. My job is also to spread awareness.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if I don't know that example, I'm just saying analogy. If I don't know
Uh-huh.
that if I have a disease, how would I even be able to treat them, right? So for me, I had two responsibility. In one hand, I need to spread lot of awareness around this topic, and the other thing is about, okay, now then comes, okay, now you have awareness. What is the next thing? Is to act on it, to implement it. So I had two things. So for awareness, I cannot just provide gyans. I need to be more relatable to people. So as an EQ coach, I was very authentic and a little bit of vulnerable as well. So when I posted my vulnerable moments, which can be digested by me first, by me, connecting to it. That's how it started. That's how my followers also increased, because people started feeling more like, oh, the girl next door. Oh, this person is like me. Oh, this person is so relatable. I have also gone through the similar issues that she has gone through. So people
Yeah.
started opening up to me, and my DMs will be filled with big messages about their life. They trust me. I'm a third person. They don't even know me. They only follow me in LinkedIn, but they trusted me and they opened up about what they go through and all of that. So it requires a moment of vulnerability plus authenticity as well. People should know that, okay, she's not like the ideal human being that people wants to connect with, but she is, oh, someone like us.
Yeah.
She had
Yeah.
similar struggles as well. So that's how people opened up. So EQ, see, I studied 1 year of counseling psychology course. Okay, I studied how to counsel people, and a little bit of 1 year of the different types of psychology and all of that. So there is one thing that in my coaching my psychologist always used to say. What's that? It's that never try to fix people who doesn't ask you to fix themselves.
Yeah.
Yes. So this was very hard for me at the beginning, because you if you know a lot of knowledge, what you want to do, hey, look at me, a very important knowledge, please wake up. That's what we also want to do, right? But in my first
Yeah.
class itself, this has been told by the psychologist that you should never fix somebody who didn't ask you to fix them. So that still stays with me. So I only coach people on EQ who really, really, really wanted to get coached. I don't force or just grab their hands and say, like, hey, come to my masterclass and all of that. I don't do that.
That would be nice. You need this guidance. But that
Yeah.
is like, because I have been asking you about your studies, and the topic was like what success can teach you, because you don't learn this stuff, and you, when you are finished with your studies, then it's just, do I get a job? Do I like the job? Or do I hate the job? Do I have to work? Like, there are so many questions. But when you, and then you go up the ranks, but still you can be a shitty leader as well, but because you have so much
Yeah.
stuff in your rucksack. So, speaking of which, good segment over to you, because you have a website which is www.yourdailytherapist.com. And by going, I looked at it when we had our pre-chat and stuff, and then I decided I would take the EQ test. Do you call it the
Assessment.
test? Assessment, yeah. The
Yeah.
engineer, yes. I took the assessment. I did not take the test because this is not about test. So, and I got the results. And of course, I am perfect in every way. Well, I see now that the EQ strength is from 21 to 27. So I have 22. So I didn't realize that there was a score. But it was fun. Like, and you say, like, you get this, and you say you have strong, you show strong awareness, regulation, and clarity. And that looks like what looks like comfort with conflict and differences, ability to pause and respond consciously, awareness of triggers and biases, emotional balance and pressure. And then we come to the tips, like like I could mentor or coach others. I could I need, maybe I need to reflect and journal regularly. I have to guard my energy. Oh, yes, that is a very true point. And prevent emotional burnout. Because, and this is just like the safe assessment. This is easy. The tricky part is then say, okay, if you get 11 or whatever, like the score is, then you have to realize, okay, is there a problem? And do I want to tackle it? So how, like, I don't know if you got also my results, or do you do anything when people say, yeah, I got this score, like, what should I do? What should I do?
Yeah, actually, when we were developing this EQ assessment test, Hayden, we were very, very careful that we are not going to make people feel small about themselves.
Yeah.
So, in every stage, whenever they get a score, we don't panic them. We don't fear them saying that, oh my God, your score is so wrong, you immediately need a therapy or something like that. It's all, everything is lighthearted. Even if somebody is scoring like around 10 or something, we start, oh, wow, nice, you're in a development stage. We don't say, you are in a poor EQ stage. We don't say
Okay,
that.
yeah,
Okay, you are
yeah.
in a development stage. Okay, you are in a awareness stage. Oh, now you are in integration stage. So we were very mindful of the words that we chose when we were doing the assessment. So mostly people didn't come back to me saying that, oh my God, my EQ score is low or something, because we also gave them tips also. It was like a self-sufficient assessment where it will give them and guide them towards what's the next step.
Yeah, but we have a tendency as human beings to turn everything into a competition.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the school system has always been that you have to, and I gather, and what I understand with India is that the higher the grades are, the better chances you have to,
Right.
like, it's always competition.
Yep.
So it is like the burnout and stuff, because I have experience, because I have been working for the most of my life with people, and you get some people that just drain you of every
Yep.
emotion you have, and you get people, they come to you, they get a grab a cup of coffee, and when they go, you are just like, what happened? And that is also something that you have to learn to, like, say no to.
Yep.
So okay, you get a person and you say, like, you are in the implement stage, you there is something to work with. And when they come to you in a masterclass, or they work with you, how well do they take, the teachings? Are they reluctant in the beginning and then they are all in? Or, like, how soon after they have taken your masterclass, or when they work with you, how quickly, soon do they see results? Like, explain a little bit
Yep.
about your master classes and stuff.
Yes, actually, it is very subjective to answer. I'll say why. There are people who just turn their life upside down within just one session of EQ, and there are people who had delayed gratification, not instant ones. Like, they don't come back to me immediately saying that, hey, wow, it was like a magic pill and I changed my life. But down the line, 6 months or 7 months, I used to get some messages saying that, oh, Divya, do you remember me? I took a session with you 1 year back, 2 year back. So it comes like that. And even if I am the best coach in the world, I may not be for everyone.
No, no,
So
no. Yeah,
even
yeah.
if I if I understood, if some of my people mentees that I have coached in EQ, even if they say, if they have seen a magic happening to them, if they force somebody to join my coaching, if they force them, I say a big no, because whatever that works for them, it may not work for the other person, right? So as I said, it is not something that can be forced. It is something that people drawn towards. I want people to drawn towards this. And this literally takes a lot of time and lot of patience as well. So it has been like this, hidden. Some people come just in one session saying that wow, this is great and all this. Some people come maybe in 2 weeks, some people maybe 1 year, some people maybe they don't come, some people 2 years, and all this happens.
But how are there all ages that come to you, or are there especially the young people that come to you, or like
Especially young people, especially young
yeah,
people, and I mean up to 40-year-old, I would say.
yeah. And is that because they
And some
want
parents
to?
do comes to me, some parents
Well,
do come
yes,
to me
of course, your
saying that.
parents would support you.
No, no, no. I said some parents. Some parents used to come to me saying that, can you please coach my children?
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, what about themselves? Like, do they feel?
That's a question mark.
But when like it must be somewhere when the young people today in India are they because there are so, as we mentioned in the beginning, there are so much stuff happening, and the young people are saying like, yeah, but we are inheriting the land, like why shouldn't we have something to say about where we want to go, what we want to do? So is there some awakening in young people? Like, is it because of the internet, of the social media, TikTok, or whatever it's called? Like, it's difficult when you're 29 plus, like with 30 years of experience, to use all of this stuff. But you know, what is it that what is changing? Because I find it interesting that the news from India about the youth or young people, like I said to you, I was so impressed that you were at your age and like doing something different. And so what is happening in your neck of the woods with this? Like, why is it that young people are saying, "Hey, this is my life. I will, of course, take care of my parents or the elderly and stuff, but I want to have something to say about my future."
Yeah, that's a very nice question, Helen. So, as you said rightly, we are able to witness a lot of awakening, especially in the young minds. Not just in young minds, of course, with technology, even older generation people are becoming more aware. Not at least to the technical terms of, oh, this is my trauma, or oh, I need to take care of my mental well being and all of that, but to some extent, like, okay, at least I should do things that makes me happy. But with
Yeah.
younger generation, they normalize therapy nowadays, and I'm very happy to see this. So they don't feel ashamed, like, okay, yesterday I had my therapy session. I'm not generalizing it again. I still see, there is lot of scope in this area where people need to be more aware of, okay, it's okay to take therapy, it's okay to go to a counselor, or it's okay to go to a psychologist and all of that. There is still a lot of scope that we need to improve. But the awakening has already started. So it has started in a very good place where people started realizing the importance of, mental well-being beyond just physical well-being alone.
Do you know, because I'm so fascinated by the number 1.5 billion, and you are in the state of Bangalore or in the town
Correct.
Bangalore, and then there is Mumbai, and like there are these provinces or
Yes.
regions and stuff. Like,
City.
is there is this in general that young people are rising and saying, like, questioning life? Like, is it everywhere, or is it just like in your neck of the woods, and then the people in Mumbai, they are thinking about the totally different things? Or like, how is it? Because it is a vast country. Like, it is a big, big, big place.
Yeah. So I may not be able to give you an approximate number as such on, in which states how many people are having awakening. Honestly, I don't have that data, or I wouldn't be the right person to talk about that. But as far as in general, what I have observed from my experiences, people, especially in metropolitan cities, right, they normalize therapy. They are okay with having social well-being. They are okay with talking about mental well-being and all of that, because I am grown brought up in city. I was brought up in Chennai. Now I am moved to Bangalore. So both are cities. So I am a typical city girl. I did not have much experience in urban or village areas. So I won't be the right person to comment about it. But in cities in general, so I have been to Hyderabad many times, in Bangalore now, and then I'm from Chennai, and all this. I could see, at least in metropolitan cities, people are awakening to these concepts very.
So, okay, when we are talking about this, because I can sense a book. Are you going to write a book for me? No.
No
Like,
way. I didn't
would
write for myself first.
yeah, but would you write a book like about, because this is, I find it is important that we are aligned with our emotions, because it's good to understand why do I do this. And when you're a leader, you have to, as mentioned in, like, if I because of the assessment, that I can, balance under pressure, and just pause and respond consciously, because, and that is the difference today. And when I was starting my work career, where you had the utmost respect for the manager, for the chief in command in the company. But now, where it is more like we are more of an equal, and I have
Yeah.
something to give, and la la la. So how is it? Have you heard from anyone who is a leader, or like was a leader, and took your master class and came to you and said, it's funny how my perspective changed regarding my employers. All of a sudden, maybe I saw humans instead of just a machine, or a IT person who was all of a sudden like, oh, you have feelings too.
Yeah.
Have you
I
engaged
would
in
like.
that kind of conversation?
Yeah, actually, this is very deep headed. The reason is, I read an article somewhere. So, the generation before me, which is my parents' generation, they had a struggle to make their living, and the opportunity was very limited, and they need to be loyal to whatever the opportunity that they grab. So, they
Yeah.
used to be loyal to one company for 20 years. 30 years, because they were really afraid, okay, if I lose this opportunity, then I
Hmm.
won't get another opportunity. But with my generation and the generation Gen Z that is coming after, our generation, uh, the opportunities are abundance. So people's need has raised. At the beginning, the need of my parents was like, okay, I need a stable job because I have kids, so I need to feed them, and they I need to stick in to some stability. But right now, the younger generations are, their needs has evolved a lot, and their need is not just about, okay, I will make money. Because imagine a social media content creator is making more money than someone who's graduated from a very, very, very reputed college. This has been a debate in India some time back as well. So money nowadays, making money has become a little easier, if not too much easy. The thing is, people is looking something beyond just going for money, for the organization. So they want a good culture. They want a good leader, an inspiring leader to look up to. Not just somebody who just give instructions and then we will follow it, but somebody who really have the leadership qualities. And whether we like it or not, leadership qualities also include EQ.
Yeah, that is why I find it fascinating, because the future has to know and be connected to their emotions. and
Right.
know that there are differences, and we it is not one size fits all.
Yes.
And we are you can have 10 people in a room, and they think in a 10 different ways. So that's why I find it fascinating that you are doing this, because for me, well, it is relatively new, because maybe it has been here for 20 years or whatnot, like, and but then again came the wellness and mindfulness, and everybody had to go to some breathing exercise,
Yeah.
whatnot. But that maybe that was not it. You don't know yourself, and I think maybe again where we come back to the school system, where you, yeah, if you have the highest grades, then you have the highest prognosis of being somebody.
Yes.
And it is funny that an influencer can make more money than a person that has been into high school and university for decades.
Yeah.
So, but time flies when you're having fun, Divya. And it's like we have maybe 10 minutes left. Is there anything that you like? How are you going to evolve your? Because I mentioned your website, and you are having, there are these cards, people can buy cards for the daily doses of positivity, or what you can look at and stuff. So how do you see your role? Well, okay, I know, yet again you are only one person, but your role in all of this, are you do you have a community? Are you trying to establish, like, getting more young people to say, hey, I'm open for more stuff, come help me, be with me, do something?
Absolutely. Thank you, Herin, for this kind question. So, I already have a community in WhatsApp for EQ, which I will definitely share with you. The community name is Space of Learning, where I discuss a lot and lot of things about, managing emotions, how to deal with different situations, what should we do if that happens, this happens. So, I want all the young minds who are really, really curious about understanding what is EQ and what is all about. So that's what I want to share at this point. I want to invite them to our community, read out our all the contents, stay in touch with LinkedIn as well. You can ask me any questions related to EQ in my LinkedIn profile, and I'd be very happy to address and answer them.
Yeah. So you have started like this, like when you are alone, and then you know it grows, the ripple effect. And
Yes.
it is, and that's why I find it so fascinating, because I think I told you when we spoke first, like, I was just like, you are a grain of salt in the ocean of 1.5 billion people, and then all of a sudden you are just courageous to do something else.
Yeah.
So for our people who are watching this, or are with us, or whatever, like when they see this, or not, what would you tell them if they, like, because I found this assessment. I have learned something today. I found it was fun. It did not take long time, and
Yeah.
I could relate, and I know that I can always improve, because the tone of the voice, and when you're like, I get that a lot, like, why are you so angry? I'm not angry.
Right.
Classic. But okay, that's my kid who say that, and my wife. So but how can we elevate, and how can we, like, can I help, can, because I am working on something that is called the I want to show you the it's something that is called the International Week of Happiness at Work, in the like the 21st of September through 25th, where people just, what does it mean to work, what makes you happy, why are you happy, why is it that, like, what can the company do to, like, be, because there is something about, if you don't hear that you are doing great, and that is just like when parents, if they don't say that they love you, then you are always questioning yourself, am I doing good, and or am I mediocre, like, and if, like, so it is interesting to look at this. And I urge people, because the International Week of Happiness at Work is just like figure out stuff and share it with us, and hear what we can do, or what we can, because emotion is emotional intelligence is a huge part of this, because you want to matter, isn't it? So I urge people, and then if I want to be with you on this journey, because this is just important. So how do you see the future? You have several minutes to see what is the future of Divya and emotional intelligence.
Yeah. If I
Huge question.
visualize myself, yes, if I visualize myself of my future, obviously it has nothing to do with status quo. I am a big fan of Naval Ravikant. Naval Ravikant is one of the very famous, American billionaire, multimillionaire, and billionaire. So I love his quotes, and he always talk about why it is not the right path to take competition, and why we need to embrace the authenticity. Because with AI taking over every single job, only one thing that AI can take, it cannot take out of us is our journey, and our journey which is very personal to us with authenticity. So I always believe that. So even 10 years after that, if people still call me as a coach, I would be very happy, because that's what I want to do for a lifetime. So maybe the range of people and the ripple effect would increase. Maybe now in thousands, maybe then it will go to lakhs or millions of people, probably. So I'm not behind any kind of status quo, or climbing the ladder, just get validation from the world. I'll be happy as a coach, which will be one of the dimensions that will stick to me maybe for next decade. While the other dimensions, like I'm creating products in mental well-being, I'm trying out to help people with my own life learnings, affirmations, and all the insights. So there is another side of me which is founder of daily therapist. That is also something that I'm nurturing very slowly. So I think these two sides is what I'm able to see now. Probably I don't know what future has for me, because if you asked me at 26 that I'll become a EQ coach, I'll have a mental well-being product, I wouldn't have believed at all. I wouldn't have believed, oh, is it me, are you sure? But now, imagine 10 years, now I'm 35, and 10 years now I have come. So I don't plan life that much to an extent where, oh, I will know exactly what I'll be doing in another 20 years. So I am just go with the flow of a person. But the only thing I'll keep checking on myself is, do I like what am I doing? Do I have a reason to wake up? Am I living a meaningful and purposeful life? So that's what matters the most. And somewhere currently at this moment, EQ is helping me to get a satisfaction in my life. And when I quote somebody, and if they say like, oh my god, because of you my life has changed, this is giving me different sense of joy and satisfaction and peace. So I'm sticking to it, and I know that I'll be sticking to it at least for another 10 to 15 years, along with nurturing my entrepreneurial side as well. But I don't know after what will happen after 15 years. I really don't know.
No, who would like? And then there are so many factors that can change.
Yes.
My life changed when I got my kids, and it's just then you see life in a totally different light.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are so many aspects of your, who says that you have to have a house when you are 20,
Yeah.
or like what is. But I think this conversation has been fascinating, and I hope you have enjoyed it, because I commend you for like being young and taking charge, like doing something that is interesting and helping others, because this is as I imagine that in your neck of the woods, it is like a taboo almost because men don't cry, and as you were saying, like and we have come far in the Western, like in Western society, but still, boys don't cry. But I think, like,
That's so
and
right.
yeah, but it is this thing about how people, oh, stop being this wimp or like whatever, like they are so downgrading.
Right.
But soft skills, I think they will be the future because
Absolutely. And yeah, we
artificial
should.
intelligence don't have emotions.
Absolutely. And I think it's high time that we call EQ as a soft skill. It is a basic life skill. I want to just replace
Yes,
the soft skill with life skill because there is no human in the world who doesn't feel any emotion at all. And if they're saying that, they are just faking it out. So we all need to deal with our emotion. So it is no more a soft skill, it's actually a life skill.
yes. Thank you. You know, Divya, I like. I really like you, and I
Thank you.
find you unbelievable that you can what you're doing. So, but I have to before I thank you from the bottom of my heart, like I do to everybody. I want to say that next week on Inspiring Conversation will be with Debbie Longo, and that is on Thursday, 27th of August. So tune in, and then I will be back. I'll be back in Iceland. So life will be maybe a little bit regular. So, Divya, thank you very much because I know it's probably bedtime for you.
You said right, young people doesn't go to bed early. Yes.
No, yeah, because you have to have Netflix and Bollywood and whatnot. Well, you have to
But
teach
you know,
people.
allow me a chance to thank you as well, Hayden. Thank you so much because I know what kind of age gap that you and me have, but the way you handle me, it was like I didn't feel the generation gap at all. I felt like I'm talking to one of the good friends, and thank you for giving me the safety to open up, making it very light-hearted. Even though the topic is very heavy, you gave me a space to be light-hearted, and really enjoy the conversation. And trust me, it has never drained me at all. I felt like it is so light that it never drained me at any point of time. And thank you, your words about my journey. It reflects how good you are as well as a person. It takes a lot to appreciate somebody because nobody can pour from an empty cup. So only
True.
whatever that we have within, we can actually pour to others, right? So thank you for
Mm.
acknowledging my journey. Thank you for reminding me how far I have come, because it helped me to increase in goodness as a person. And thank you so much for that, Helen.
Well, you're welcome, and I just admire you. So, as I always try to end on a good note, people be curious, be interested, be inspired, and be audacious, and support Divya and her work, and just take a look at it. And we need kindness in this world right now. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart.